Hi, Facebook. So this is definitely going to be brief because obviously I'm outside, and yes, of course it is hot. So, but I was saying this earlier in a video that was just meant for one person, but afterwards I thought, well, actually I should probably say this to everyone. Like, maybe I should just post this online, you know, for everybody, because it might just be something that could bless somebody else. So here I go. But I was talking about how I believe when we take our focus off of God and we start focusing on our circumstances, that's what causes anxiety and worry and fear. And I think we just bring a lot of that on ourselves because we are just worrying about stuff that is like God has it, you know, He has under control. What are we freaking out for? It's natural, you know. I mean, if I was, you know, my rent was due and I didn't have the money and I knew I was going to get put out if I don't pay it, I mean, okay, it's natural for me in that moment to be like, oh, what am I going to do? However, is God not bigger than my rent? Is God not bigger than, you know, a health issue or anything like that? Like, is God not bigger than these things? And so, yeah, like, we just have to make sure that we are not focusing so much on our circumstances and forgetting about God, who knew that it was going to happen before it happened. You know, and so it's encouraging to myself because I struggle with worrying and fear as well. And so, you know, well, I struggle with that. And I think it's just a common thing, even as Christians, that we can find ourselves doing. But of course, we know that God does not give us a spirit of fear, right? You know, we are supposed to walk by faith. And so worrying about something, or how is this going to happen, or how is that? And, you know, it's like we're not doing what God tells us to do, which is to have faith, you know. You know, it's like you have to make a choice. Are you going to live in fear, or are you going to live by faith? You know, which one are you going to do? Because you can't do both. So that's what I wanted to say, that I believe what causes a lot of the anxiety that we experience is just us taking our focus off of Jesus and focusing on what's going on. If there's something going on in your life that you don't like, if you thinking so much about it, oh, whatever the case may be, whatever the circumstance is. So my encouragement is to keep your focus on Jesus. Keep your focus on God no matter what's going on. Because when we don't, and I believe that's how the anxiety creeps in. And of course, that's what the enemy wants, is us not looking at Jesus, but us looking everywhere else and losing our mind. So, and it's like I said, this is for me too. I'm not just saying this to everyone else, but I have to remind myself of this all the time, because I tend to overthink, overanalyze, be worrying, and then I realize, what was I worrying for? Like, what? I'm like, I was over here freaking out for no reason, worrying and stressing myself for no reason. So keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep your focus on God. He has it. He's bigger than anything, everything. He's bigger than, you know, it may be too much for you, but it's not too much for Him. So release it to Him. Some things we have to just release to God. Stop trying to put our hands in, you know? So, yeah, that's all I have. That's all I got. Be anxious for nothing, but in all things acknowledge Christ. He can handle this stuff, not us. There's only so much we can handle. Some stuff is so that's what I wanted to share. hopefully, yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Bye.